I want to welcome all of you here this afternoon to this is our 6th annual general meeting for the Ireland Special Interest Group. And I want to welcome everyone that's watching at home. This is our first year to stream the meeting, so we'll see how that goes. My name is John Noble. I'm the chair of the Special Interest Group. And with me today I have Kathy Searle, who is our treasurer, also our membership coordinator, and one of our Facebook moderators, so she has multitasking. Judith Heyman, I don't think she's here. She looks after our queries. Cindy Robichaud at the back, manning the technical part today, is our other Facebook moderator. And David Elliott, who is our vice chair, is normally here, but he is unfortunate not to be able to be here this year due to other commitments. And Brian Elliott is our our webmaster, and Gail Fisher is our newsletter, and they couldn't be here today either. So I'll ask Kathy to come up now and give us our financial report.
Good afternoon. Just briefly, our opening balance for January the 1st, 2014 was $4,228.80. Our income for the year through our membership fees was $1,691. Our expenses were for brochures that we have at our table down in Marketplace. They were $209.05. And our bank service charges were $17.55, and we had our conference sponsorship for last year of $727.50. So our closing balance as of the end of December 2014 was $4,965.70.
Thanks, Kathy. We'll put the report up in the members only section of our website, and have someone move that the financial report page up. Okay, Richard Doherty, seconder. Dennis Carter, thank you. All in favor? Carried. I'll ask Kathy now to give us our membership report.
Thank you. So our SIG is still increasing in numbers year over year. There were 378 members at the end of last year, and so far as of May 28th this year, we're up to 309. So of those members, 322 live in Ontario, 33 others from across Canada, Newfoundland, BC, Northwest.
That's the only mic we're using.
32 of our members live in the United States, and we also have a member in Scotland, one in Australia, and one in Bermuda. Just to make a note that the new Privacy Act requiring the capability to opt out of electronic communications was implemented in July last year. So now if anyone wishes to not receive the emails that we send out periodically anymore, then there's an unsubscribe option as a footer in the email communications. Now, if you're not receiving the occasional email broadcast, please contact me through the website. And if any of you are not yet members of our SIG and wish to take advantage of our low membership cost of $5 per year, see your OGS representatives in the marketplace, or you can opt in through the OGS website as well. That's it. Thank you.
Thanks, Kathy. Judith said that she might be okay, but she had only 6 queries during the past year, and I think now with our Facebook group, I think most of the queries now are coming there. At least a lot of the people are putting up their surname interests and that, so I think that's where the thrust is being put. Brian Elliott, our webmaster, in the report. As you know, during the past year, we asked for after last year's meeting, we'd asked the branches to send us a listing of their resources they had on Ireland or Irish items. Quite a few of the branches sent in stuff, and so we created a database, and Brian put that up on the website in the members only, and it's searchable by branch, and then once you get the branch, you can scroll down and see what resources are at that particular branch, and you can always contact them if there's more information you want from any of those publications. We had some problems early in the year with security on the site. We had some problems with signing in with the password wasn't quite working the way it should. So Brian, working with the technical group, corrected that, and that's now working. So can't get into the members only unless you're a member. Brian continues to work on keeping the website up to current standards. He's also getting into the Google Analytics, which allows us to track some of the things. We'll be able to tell how many members, how many people actually access the site and so on. And of course, he's been working with, as you know, the provincial office is going to Office 365, and so he's been familiarizing himself with that as well. And to that end, we've updated the contacts page, so when you go to the contacts page, the email addresses have all been changed to Office 365 email addresses. Gail Fisher is our newsletter editor, and she continues to do a good job of putting out the newsletter, although she does want more information, more items, more articles submitted, and she's also looking to have someone help her with the newsletter with the view of perhaps taking over. She's committed to doing the newsletter to the end of this year, and then she'll reassess her status at that time to see whether she wants to continue. So if anybody's interested in helping her with the newsletter, just let us know, and we can put you in contact with Gail, and she will help you along. But if anyone else has items of interest, please submit them to the newsletter so that we can, so that everybody can benefit from them. And the deadline for the next newsletter, which is the beginning of July, is June 15th. So get your items in by then. And Cindy, you want to come down and talk about the Facebook group, which is becoming quite successful.
Thanks, John. Yes, our Facebook group has taken on a life of its own, as has many of the other branches' Facebook groups. Wonderful resource. If you're not on Facebook, it's not scary. It's a wonderful new tool that all family historians should be tapping into. You don't have to see what your neighbor ate or where they went or any of that stuff. So it's a really good resource too, and you can fine tune how you use it. So that's my soapbox. I'm one of the administrators, and so is Kathy. She has gracefully stepped up. Nancy has had to step down, but she has done a lot of work over the last 2 years getting our Facebook group up and going. So many, many thanks to her. The group continues to grow. It is still an open group, which means that anybody who has an interest in Irish genealogy can join it. When people, they have to send a request in, so the admins will ask them a couple questions just to make sure that their interest is true, and then they're in the group. So we want to make sure they have a little bit of Irish background, or if they're interested in family history, not just some random person wanting to post advertisements. So that's kind of how they get into the group. Kathy will be maintaining the databases now, the surname database. And I think we were talking about maybe putting out a database of resources and links. So that is right there. You don't have to go searching all through the Facebook group. And we encourage, again, anybody to join if you haven't joined. We're up to 430 members, Facebook group members, so now if they all join, we would double our. And we definitely want everybody to post and to share, and if you find something of interest, it's a good place to share with everybody. So it's a nice way for OGS to get their name out there and the Ireland SIG to get their name out there and to share it. So we're looking forward to your feedback and your comments as well. If there's something on there you want changed or you want us to add to, or any ideas, definitely shoot us off a private message.
Thanks, Cindy. Last couple of years, we've mentioned trying to get some webinars going. That's been losing the battle. We haven't got anybody. We're looking for a coordinator who would just sort of, take charge of organizing webinars and getting everything going. So if anybody's still interested in that, let me know. We this year we had an executive meeting, used the Adobe Connect for that. So that's the first time we've done that. And so the technology is there, and I'd like to see us use more of it. So but we need more volunteers just to coordinate things. As you know, one of our members is Richard Doherty, and he supplies a little newsletter every month, except during the summer, called Our Celtic Quest, and he constantly bringing us up to date on what's new in Irish research, especially things in Ireland. So Richard, I'll just ask you to maybe tell us a few things that are coming up.
Okay, I've been working towards everything I'm doing for the conference, so as a result, I don't have any new news, but there's probably a lot of people who haven't read my last newsletter from the beginning of May. So I want to remind you of a couple things that are happening, and one of them is extremely significant. So which one do you want to hear first, the most significant or the least significant? I'll give you the least significant. We're going to build, we'll have a crescendo. And it's not really least, it's an important set of records, but if you attended my workshop yesterday, I talked about some valuation records, 4 different types. One of those are the original surveyor's notes that were input to Griffith's valuation. And these were taken years before, just a few years before the printed version of Griffith's. But it's significant, especially for the southern tier of counties where Griffith's was the early 1850s, because a few years before that means that you may find people in those records that did not appear in Griffith's valuation because they may have died or emigrated because of the famine. So as a result, these are significant records. They're not complete for all of Ireland, but if they exist, they may give you an insight into possibly an earlier generation or people that did die and didn't appear in 1851. As an example, I showed Griffith's valuation where my family, there was Lawrence Doherty and Michael Cronin, in Griffith's valuation. I go to the tenure books, which are one of the types of surveyor books, and it turns out there are 3 Cronins in the same townland and 1 Doherty. So that's significant that they did not appear in Griffith's. So this source, it's been microfilmed by the LDS, so you can get to it through the Family History Library Network. However, they are being worked on by the National Archives. My understanding is they've been digitized. They've been working out some issues with linking the index to the image, but these are supposed to be coming online this year. Rumor was probably earlier in the year rather than later in the year. So we're anxiously awaiting for that. The other thing is real exciting if you have Irish Roman Catholic ancestors, because for the first time, the National Library of Ireland will have a dedicated website where they have already digitized all of the Catholic parish registers for Ireland, unindexed. So you're still searching by parish. But they are all going to be available on July 7th. So circle that date on your calendar. You don't have to go to Ireland. I'd like you to have you on one of my trips. But if you're just going to look at a parish register, you can do that. Just put on your bunny slippers and your jammies and you can sit there in front of your computer and you can go through the whole parish register. They've all been digitized already, and they were actually brave enough to come out and give a specific day that it will be launched. So again, that's July 7th. You do have to go and know which parish you're dealing with. There's all kinds of guides to help you make sure you got the right parish. So you'll have to go through. Now, with that said, and I said it's not indexed, there are other sources, because many of the Catholic parish registers were indexed by the Irish Family History Foundation through their network of heritage centers, and it's available on the rootsireland.ie network. If you remember, they converted from pay-per-view over to a subscription service, but they have a subscription for as short as 1 month, and you have unlimited access to it. And they have indexed many of the Irish parish registers, including, in fact, they kind of started with most of the Roman Catholic registers. So you will be able to go and take a look at that, and then go right to the parish, and possibly even right to the right date and everything to look up the person that you're interested in. But they are going to be images of the original registers. Okay? So circle the date. They didn't give the website for the new one. It's going to be a dedicated website from the National Library for the Roman Catholic registers. But in existence already are the Heritage Network for all of Ireland, Heritage Center Network, and it's rootsireland.ie. And there you will find, you can search by county, or if you don't know, you can search for all of Ireland. Hopefully it's a less common name. But you can go by county and search for individuals from the church records. Question in the back?
Do you know what time frame it is from? What year approximately?
It's going to vary by parish. I have found some as early as 1770s. And the end date, however, these were taken from the microfilms at the National Library of Ireland. And when they originally filmed these back in the late 50s and 60s, they had a cutoff date of 1880. So supposedly the most recent date you will find is going to be 1880. And then it's just a matter of what's the earliest date. However, just because a parish doesn't have earlier records doesn't mean the neighboring one does. For example, in Ballyhide, where I was searching my family, I went to the local church for that parish, and the priest was more than willing to help me. He said, "What time period are we talking about?" I said, "Oh, the 1820s and 30s. He said, "Oh, I can't help you a bit." He said, you need to go see Father Daly over in Causeway, because we were just a chapel at the time. So there was a structure there where the Catholics would go, and they would have the traveling priest. And probably on his podium trap, and he'd come over and he'd perform the sacraments. Maybe write them in a book, but he probably didn't carry it with him. He'd write it on a piece of paper, he'd get back to the main parish office, and then he would record them if he didn't forget. Or lose a slip of paper on the way or whatever. But you do have access to that information. And if you look at John Brenham's Tracing Your Irish Ancestors 4th edition, in the back there is an index to all of the Catholic parish registers from the National Library. And he gives starting dates and ending dates by type of record for each parish, and that's organized by county. So that would be a good way to get a flavor for the area your family came from, what is the earliest starting date and everything. Okay? Any other questions before I turn it back over to John? Okay, he'll take care of any other questions you have.
Thanks, Richard. Just as a point of interest, I do at the marketplace table, I do have a copy of that 4th edition of John Brenham's book. So if you want to stop by and flip through it, and you might find some information there for your parishes that you're looking for.
Our next newsletter will be
Great. Good. So now I'm going to open it up to any questions that people may have on anything, or any suggestions, or things they want to see.
you want to mention the query you got? What's the, that
Well, that's right. Yeah, one of the, someone had sent in after they saw that it was the April issue of Richard's Our Celtic Quest. Have a date put on, so we did that in May. So from now on, there'll be a date at the top of each newsletter, so you know that you're looking at which month you're looking at. If Richard remembers. That is true. That is true. Do we have any questions? Suggestions? Short meeting.
Will we sponsor a speaker next year again?
Will we sponsor a speaker again next year? Yes. Yes. Since we have the money available, we don't want to keep it there. We want to use it for, you know, SIG purposes. So anything to enhance people's research and that. So we'll see what who's available next year. Anybody send any text in from home?
We have 3 people watching at home.
3 people.
I know. No questions, so.
No questions. Okay, well then, oh, there's one.
I have one just another session tomorrow, which is at Building J.
Yeah, the session tomorrow, Richard's talking in the morning at 8 o'clock. It says it's Building J, and I would assume that's where the buffet, the dinner is tonight, in the, just off beside the marketplace, and where the opening ceremonies were last night. I think. I'm not sure. Because I don't see any other big room, because you said there was 180 people registered.
Well, it was before the conference.
So I would assume that that's when they say Building J, that they're going to set the chairs back up, and that's where they'll be. I don't think there's any other big spot in Building J. No. Anything else? Okay. Oh, way the back.
So if the person didn't join the special interest group when you renewed your membership, how would you go about joining it now?
Okay, the question was if you didn't renew your membership to the SIG when you renewed your OGS membership, can you do it now? You can. Alan was going to say, you just go to the provincial site, check your membership profile, and it will list your membership, current membership, and the branches that you've already joined. And you just check off if you want to join any other branch or the SIG, just check them off, and then they'll ask you for your credit card information at the end. Or you can call the provincial office, or you can stop by the OGS booth here at the conference and do it as well. Yes?
Sort of was a Facebook group here.
Well, the Facebook group is it's just another means of people trying to connect. It's mainly trying to connect other researchers. And so people have put up there, you know, where their ancestors have come from, or they're looking for, you know, information on certain people, hoping that other people maybe have a connection or can help them out in some way. So it's just another means, and it's like Cindy said, it's open to everybody. So it's not just people that belong to our SIG group. You know? So it's just another way of helping others.
And what's the Facebook name of it?
What's the actual name,
If
Cindy?
if in your Facebook profile, if you just search OGS Ireland SIG group, you'll find it. If you go to our website, our branch website, it's on there as well, the actual URL.
If you want the actual link, it's www.facebook.com/groups/Ireland SIG. But if you just search at the top on Facebook, you'll find it. So. Any other questions? Okay, just before we end, I just reminded to bring all your lunch leftovers there, so we will clear up the room. And I want to thank Cindy for organizing the streaming. It's our first year, and hopefully in the future we'll have more people dial in from home. The link for the video will be, it's on every page of our website, and it will stay there for a while. Eventually we'll move it just over to the members only and sort of archive it for future years and have a new link for next year's. Let's have someone move to adjourn. Okay, Kathy, so done. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest.